So I want to get into real estate, but don't know where to start.
Well, what I would say is to join the Future Cash Flow Club. It's a community of investors where we talk about wholesaling, we talk about creative deal structuring, buying houses subject to, all of the creative stuff that everybody's talking about. You don't need a real estate license or any of that.
Wow, where do I sign up?
Well, I would say go to futurecashflowclub.com. That's futurecashflowclub.com. You can even get a free trial. Try it out today.
Hey Chris, is that you? Damn. Hey Chris, is that you? Damn.
Can you hear me? I don't know. If you don't know who I am by now, I don't know what you've been doing. You been asleep? Let me wake you up with something. Straight up. Yeah. Allow me to reintroduce myself. I'm Chris Monroe. R to the O-E. I flip houses, rent cars, and make money. You know I'm not no motherfucker dummy. This how we... What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? This is the student master teacher, Mr. I Stay Woke, Chris Cashflow, Money Monroe. We got Mike Chicken in the building. We got Corey in the building. Happy Sunday. How are you doing?
What's going on? I'm doing good, man.
It's another sunny day in the STL. Did you make it to St. Louis?
I did. In and out. In and out.
So you come in and run out of here.
Man, I did what, you know what I needed to do.
You got it done?
I did, man. I
All right.
appreciate you.
For sure. We'll get into that in a minute here. What's going on, Big Mike? Where you been hiding?
Not priorities, man. Not setting my priorities straight. So now I'm realigned. I'm all set in my boundaries and ready to keep one foot in front of the other and keep pounding it, man.
Oh, wow. You let life distract you, huh?
Absolutely.
It happens to the best of us. That's the reason why we do this each and every week, 7 o'clock Central Time, 8 o'clock Eastern, to keep us focused, because we get pulled every which way with life, whether we're dealing with our personal life, family. You know, everybody want to borrow $5. You know how that stuff go. But sometime you got to bring it back on home. And that's why I do this once a week, to keep us accountable, to keep us focused, to get us reorientated to where we're supposed to be. So you ready to hit the ground running again, huh, Mike?
Oh, yeah. I got some lists together. How much money for marketing. So I'm pulling lists and doing research on county sites. And this week is chasing after foreclosures.
Okay. So have you come across anybody that says they want to do some business?
I had one 2 weeks ago that she was working on she had a property for 8 years sitting empty. Then she was going to start working on it.
8 years?
Yeah. So she's decided to hold off for a minute and have a contractor come in there and do some stuff. But the thing is, I don't think she had money to begin with. So I'm going to reach back out here probably later in this week and see how that contractor situation and costs are going for her. And,
when I hear stuff like this, a question just pops in my mind automatically. Would you know what that question would be?
It'd have to do with, like, if you haven't done it by now, what's different or something along those lines.
There you go. I mean, if you've been playing with this for 8 years, what changed or what made you want to decide to want to sell it now?
It was a reach out I did. Yeah. non-owner occupied
Did
property.
you ask her something to that effect, or
Say again.
did you ask her something to that effect, something to that direction?
No, I'm growing. I'm getting there. I'm growing. I'm getting there.
Because I
Yeah.
mean, people gonna say what they're gonna say, and they're gonna do what they're gonna do. And I'm not necessarily trying to convince them to sell me the house. I want to know how are we even got to this point, that where you at now, and where would you like to be? And then we paint that picture for them, because what the sayings go? Facts tells, but it's your story that sells. Can you make a story out of what's going on with her situation? It's a her, right?
Absolutely. No, that's where I'm growing. That's that mindset shift.
Because Justin wouldn't have that mess. I can tell you that right now.
Chicken was popping. Long time no see.
Yeah, that's what I shared with Chris. Shifted priorities and didn't keep my stuff back within my boundaries. So I'm back within my blessings and my boundaries. So
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. But yeah, that's the thing. Don't feel like you did something wrong. Like you say, you're growing. But understand, when I hear these stories, a question is all: what should I be asking? Not what I should be trying to sell them. What should I be offering them? None of that. What should I be asking to make them come on to the realization of reality? Because some people don't live in that thing called reality, right? But when it comes out of their mouth, they hear it and say, damn, that don't even sound right what I just said myself. Damn, that don't make sense. And then they come to the realization and want to work with you on their own without you necessarily convincing them. That's why I try to teach the strategy of asking good questions and allowing them to tell you what they want to do, how they got to the place they are, what's the thing that's stopping them from getting to the place they want to be at, those type of things. Not necessarily, oh yeah, how old is the roof? Which that stuff is cool, but that's kind of, to me, kind of cookie cutter as far as really helping people in real estate. We're going to get to the condition of the house and all that eventually, but the most important thing we want to talk about is their what? What, Mike?
motivation.
Motivation. And why are people motivated? They moving away from the pain or trying to move towards some type of gain. We got to figure out what they're trying to do. And that's where we make our sale at. It's just that simple. It's not overthinking it. We don't even need a calculator for this. This is just a conversation with a person.
And one thing I learned from that call too was she's driving in the vehicle when I was running the numbers with her, and it's like, I should have, next time I'll wait, hey, let me call you back in 15 minutes.
Well, I mean, we work with them. If they're willing to talk on the phone and drive, I mean, I'm not going to tell them to do that, but if you decide to do that, I ain't going to tell you to get off the phone. I'll stay on there with you.
Well, it's putting together the numbers for her to repair the place,
Why are we doing numbers to repair her place? I'm just asking. Why would we be talking about that?
For the number I was going to offer her.
What number does she want?
40. Well, she started at 50, then dropped to 40.
And how did she come to that number?
She just,
You see how whatever you say, I'm coming with a question. This is how you should be on the phone with a seller. All right, 40. I mean, that sounds good. I mean, I'm just curious. How'd you come up with that number? And let her tell you. I saw it on Zillow. Oh, my cousin house across the street sold for that much. Whatever excuse they come up with. Or they might have just did what I do, made it up. All these prices are made up anyway, right?
Yeah, they are.
I mean, so just because you want 40 don't mean you wouldn't take 20, do you?
Yeah, I see that angle.
And it's just a question. Everything I do is try to position as a question. Not me trying to beat them up or nothing crazy. Just asking. I mean, from what I'm seeing, we got to be closer to around 20. I mean, is that something you would consider? And make them object. Make them say, hell no, I ain't selling my house that cheap. Hell no, I hate you. I'm going to hang up on you. They might hang up on you. Are you scared to get hung up on, chicken?
Oh, I've been hung up on. I've been yelled at. No, I guess I didn't have any positive impact in their day. Oh well.
But let me bring it back though. Why is she selling anyway?
She wasn't even considering. So it was she entertained it because of a dollar value that she threw out there.
So other than the price, what's another reason you would consider selling? That's a question you need to put in your toolbox.
What did you say, Chris? Say that
Other than the price, what's another reason you would consider selling? Because we're trying to pull the motivation out of them and make them bring objections. Oh, I can't afford it. Or, oh, these contractors ripping me off. All this stuff they telling us in this story is what we're going to use to close them with later. So yeah, you don't have to worry about the contractors anymore. We take the house as is. I mean, if we just put, wired over 20,000 to your bank account or whatever number you want to offer. I mean, would that help you out and just get this behind you and make them say no? Worst thing they can say is no. How close can you get to that number if they do say no? And it's just a conversation. So you do remember your 4 pillars, right, chicken? Oh, he got them on a wall back there. Oh, hell no, that's cheating. No. He got it on the wall. Oh. You did too, I think. I don't know if I did that or something, or your mic went out.
Motivation, timeline, condition, price. MTCP. Yeah.
Come on with it. That's it.
Yeah.
We spend more of the energy, that's right, Justin, on that motivation. We want to understand her timeline. If we came up with a price that works good for you and me, I mean, how soon would you like to close? That's part of the motivation part. It's a timeline question, yes, but that's going to lead into our motivation because they're like, man, I want to be out of this before the month ends. We know they talking about let's go now. Like, oh, well, I might sell it if I get the right number. I don't really have to sell it. Oh, so you don't really need to even sell it then, sound like to me. Make them tell you that. Yeah, I don't need to sell it. Is that making sense? Justin, would you add any sauce on that, or is it, or anything, any tactic or technique you got that can make somebody want to come closer to you?
Just a series of questions and stuff. Once you kind of, understand the 4 pillars and everything, that's the foundation. Everything else is just questions to pull those type of things out of a person. So it don't matter if they are a tenant buyer or they are a seller, whatever it is. Like one of my things that when I'm talking to a tenant buyer, they always, say, oh yeah, I got 10 grand. Okay, great. How soon are you looking to move? And they'd be like, oh, 90 days from now. So that reveals to me just from asking, those 2 questions, where they actually are as far as their timeline and stuff. So they don't have the 10 grand to make a decision today. They just looking to try to give me some type of fictitious number and think I'm just going to show them property. So, that's just one example. It all works on different people. So whether it's tenant buyers or sellers, just having those questions in your pipeline. And then, Chicken, maybe it could help you out a lot if you sat there and wrote down, every single question that you have, and then, repeat it, and get comfortable with it. And then they help you stir and navigate conversations easier. You know what I mean? Like your biggest thing is being able to memorize just a few, maybe like, I really probably only asked a person maybe less than 10 questions in a sales call. If you had 10 strong questions, you just ask them and just, I could probably go 30, 40 questions, but it's really only about 10 questions that expose, hey, tell me about your situation. And it just opens up them and they just go on. And I just get all 4 pillars just from one question and everything. And then I close them.
That's right.
Keep it simple.
And that's why I was asking, why would I be going into a whole calculation on how much I'm going to put into repairing a house and all that, which you can do that, but it's just a time to do that. I need to understand them first. What are you trying to do? What's stopping you from doing it? Why don't you just go on and finish fixing it up then? I mean, if I was you, I just go on and fix it up and put it on the market. Is that what you were planning to do? Was she trying to sell this house on the market after fixing it up, or what was she planning on doing?
She's wanting to live with it with her daughter and her handicapped granddaughter.
Oh, so they don't even want to sell no way.
Yeah, it was kind of she's paying rent $900 now a month, and then she sees, but it's been sitting for, that's what's like, this might be able, the money might be able to get her onto her,
So if you did just sell this property, would that help you out at all? I really want to understand them, but it sounds like if they looking for
it's opening up that,
Yep. Corey, you got anything you would add on any of that?
I'm learning, man. I never.
Okay, just making sure, because I know you got some closing skills, so you just don't know it. It's underneath there.
Man, I can't wait to try to close on my first foreclosure. I never did one, man.
Yeah. I mean, they're out here. It's people that need your help. And I got a case study I'm going to have here in a little bit to show you one I went all the way through from the rooter to the tutor. So it's a roller coaster ride, but we'll get into that here in a few minutes. But other than that, anything, what's going on in your world there, Corey? You said you had to fly into St. Louis. Sound like you picked up a check or something. I don't know what you did. Something over here real good.
Man, thanks to you all, I finally got my first tenant. What do you call it? Tenant
buyer.
Yeah, tenant buyer. So my first one, man.
You ain't want to just rent it out regular like traditional?
Heck no.
It don't even look the same.
That ain't happening no more. Ever.
So what's the difference in what you would have did in a traditional rental versus what you did in this particular situation?
I guess the biggest difference is getting that down payment, that deposit, that, and helping the tenant understand the process or what she's getting herself into. Because she didn't ask a ton of questions, but the few she did, I was stumbling a little bit. I was trying to remember everything. So what I ended up doing, just pulling up my email and just going over it with her, like, hey, you're gonna have a couple of addendums to take care of, and the addendum's gonna say this, this basically is your house. You're now responsible for all the maintenance, the line curve, the utilities, everything is on you,
You made it very clear, so it ain't like, oh, you gonna come fix something for me? No.
Yeah, I made it very clear, and she was happy with it, So she also was grateful for the fact that we don't look at credit. She definitely makes the money, but her credit just ain't right. So the option that I came up with her, well, the option that she picked is a 30-month. It was a 30-month term. So I ended up getting a little bit less on the monthly. Mm-hmm. I think it's only $50 less, but still.
Yeah. But you're still gonna cash flow, right?
I'm still gonna cash flow.
But you got to do maintenance, repairs, property management. What about all that stuff?
That's out.
You done with that world?
Huh?
You done with that world?
Man, that is over with. I will never do a traditional rental again.
Ooh, you sounding good. That's what I'm talking about. I don't even know why nobody do a traditional rental on a single family house. It don't make sense.
Yeah. So no, I'm excited to see how this process goes. So far, it's been going well. She's happy. I'm happy. She closed. They close on Monday. So see what this. I'm hoping for more. Huh?
How much did she put down?
She put down the 12,000.
12,000. And you 12,000. Non-refundable option consideration for the people.
Non-refundable option. Yes, sir.
That's right. So that's basically a fee that she's being charged to be able to have the option to buy that house sometime within her term.
Correct. Yep.
Now, let's just say that 30 months go by. What are you going to do, Corey? You're going to let her stay, or you're going to kick her out? What are you going to do with that at the end of it?
I mean, it's up to her. She can stay if she wants to, or she can. Come on, Justin, put me on, man.
Raise up that rent.
Oh yeah,
tinker them up about $100. It won't hurt.
Okay, so yeah,
depending on what's going on.
Yeah, so I mean, I haven't thought out there for her. I was hoping. I'm hoping she do what she says she's gonna do and buy it, but if she don't, because I didn't crunch the numbers all the way to the 30th month. Like, come on. I figured them numbers out. So
damn. So this is the beauty of what we do when we talk about creative real estate. That non-refundable 11 or 12,000 is straight to you. I mean, all the money you put into this stuff anyway. It ain't like this is money coming back that you've invested. That now you have a baby that was just born and is going to lay little eggs every month. Yeah. It never kill the goose that lays the golden eggs. Cash flow. Now this house here, what kind of cash flow is it going to have? A couple $100 or?
This one with cash flow is it'll cash flow after taxes and insurance, like right at $550.
That ain't bad.
Yep.
550, and it's just money.
That's after taxes and insurance. So
yeah, that's cool. I mean, talking of insurance, I think I'm gonna get some quotes out here for some other companies because I've been seeing these insurance rates go up. I'm gonna start getting some quotes, see if somebody can give me a better play because I think it's a better play out here.
I gotta start checking on that.
Nobody checks this stuff. I mean, I just thought about it when I was looking. Like, wait a minute, man, it's like y'all going up every time I look. We gonna see what's going on out here because I changed my auto insurance to a lower rate because they was charging like $2,200 for 3 cars. I'm like, damn, that's high. Let me go get a quote. AAA sent me some in the mail. I said, let me call them up. They got me down to $1,500 for the same thing.
Oh man.
I said, I ain't no way in the world I'm finna pay these other people, even though I've been with them for years, but I ain't that loyal.
Right. Now when it comes to the De Niro's,
Corey, I got one question.
Yes, sir.
In order for you to assign that that tenant buyer and everything, how long did it take you to get your license for to be an agent and all of that stuff?
0.
No, so it took you no hours, no time. You didn't have to go get your license or nothing like that.
Not at all. Not at all.
I know you can do real estate without a license to be an agent, man. That's blowing me away.
I was thinking about getting a license, but I don't think I could pass the test.
No, sir, none at all. No agent involved.
Yeah, and this is the power of the real estate. When you take the time to say, I'm going to learn this stuff. We've learned way harder stuff than this, to be honest, in life, from our jobs and whatever else we've done. We've learned difficult things. Even in school, could have been some hard stuff. This stuff here, real estate is actually not that hard. I think real estate is easy. It's dealing with these people that is more difficult. You come across some bad jokers, you be like, where do you get these people at? Then you come across some good people as well, and you're like, oh, wow, there are some good people in the world. So you just have to be a better judge of character, understanding, asking the right questions, seeing who we're dealing with. Do we want to deal with them? Because if they janky already, why I want to be in a long-term relationship with them? That's like getting a girlfriend or something. You got somebody already complaining on day one. Why I want to be in a long-term relationship with you?
Yeah. I mean, and then also it's creating them systems, man. When you got a system in place, which I did not have before, if you got a system in place, it make it just roll out a lot smoother.
What if I told you that's all businesses, every business? If you can put a good system in place, that thing a well-oiled machine. Especially if they get on auto pay and they paying every month. I got somebody just paid already for next month. I said, damn, it ain't the 28th yet, and they paid yesterday. The lady that moved in their house over there in Florida for $4,250, it came through on my Zelle. I was like, what's this? Damn. You paying early and often? I like you. I thought something was wrong. I'm like, who just sent me that kind of money? That wasn't $42. That was $4,250, $4,250. Say, I can take that every month. Thank you. Yeah, so every once in a while we find good people, like I just said, and sometimes we find janky people. So we want to attract the good and push away the bad. All right. What about you, Justin Holmes? Anything cooking this week? Good? Are you whipping up something that needs to be more salt, more pepper, more Lowry seasoned salt put on it?
All right, so what I got cooking is I'm pretty proud of this deal I negotiated where I got a guy to agree to take a lien holder position and everything. I was able to get it under contract without a defined date on when we was going to make an exit on the deal. So I'm really happy about that and everything. So basically, we got a sale price of $100,000. I sent it over to the title company. Basically, he owed like $65,000. He's going to take a lien holder position of $35,000 as a lien on the property, and then we're going to, rent it out and into the future. And who knows? Go ahead.
So you're buying it from a person, and they decided they have a loan on it, and they wanted a higher price than what the loan is. So what they call that is a hybrid. So it's basically a part sub to part seller finance. That's a hybrid. So when we come across these people that say they got a $300,000 house, but they only owe $50,000, don't think, I can't buy it because they owe that much. We can structure a deal like Justin just did with a person with equity, and we can do what we want with that equity, whatever we can negotiate. We can do it with no payments. We can do it with monthly payments, principal payments only. We can do it with payments with interest, which I wouldn't do anyway. There's a lot of things you can do with that. How did you structure yours, Justin?
So basically, what I was able to do was Basically, he agreed to take the second lien position of 35 grand. He owes 64 and some change. So we $100,000 asking price, and then pretty much he does have a tenant who's in there paying $700 a month. He just looking to get out the way. He's a tired landlord and everything. Trying to liquidate. He's been liquidating his assets maybe for the last year and a half. My guy Trill is the one who brought this to the table. So I got a bunch of tenant buyers in place. I'm working with the tenant right now to try to get inside the house, get some photos, all that stuff before closing, do my due diligence, and then I'm a pretty much when I get in front of the tenant, try to see what kind of timeline he on. If he's willing to take a little bit of money to leave the property, we might do a situation like that. So I'm trying to put it together now.
So you're trying to do a cash for keys. How much would you give him to move, Justin?
I'm gonna let him say a number.
Come on, he who says a number first loses. I don't like to say numbers first. I like to ask questions and let them tell me. Man, if you give me $1,000, I'll be out here tomorrow. You say so. You want that in hundreds or how you want that? Because it's finna be in your lap. I want it broom swept, though. We want it cleaned up. Get all your junk out of here. If we can do it that way. If not, if as is, sign this paper, say you're relinquishing and you're moving out. If we have to take it as is and clean it out, it may be still worth it. Every case is different. That's the beauty of this creative real estate. What can you create? Can you solve a problem for a seller? Can you solve a problem for the tenant? Can you solve a problem for your tenant buyer?
And Justin, you said you don't have a timeline?
I did not put a timeline. He did not ask about it, so I didn't put it on there.
Well, they're going to ask that title. Eventually, they got to put something in there. So 30 years.
They do have to put something on there?
Yeah, because that's the note. They're going to create the note, the secondary promissory note and deed of trust that they're going to record for him if they record it. Because, there's a lot of funky stuff you can do with this. I don't want to make this too complex because you can't do this without recording it. But the right way to do it is put it through title and let them close and put a new lien on it as a secondary junior lien to the property, junior to the mortgage or to the loan.
I got another question for you, Justin.
Yes, sir.
How did you? You said you found that deal from a friend or something?
Yeah, it's one of the guys who come to the group and stuff. His name is Trail. I sent him the link. Hopefully you're on here and everything. So he brought it to the table. He just wanted to, hey Justin, I got this deal. Can you, I want to see you do a deal. I want to see how this whole thing works, the inner workings, how you navigate the conversation.
JV.
And, this guy being a landlord and stuff, he had just a lot of questions because he never heard about doing anything like this. And he just looking to, switch out of the position. So he nobody else is going to give him that type of money because the numbers are narrow. I think the house is only worth like $150,000. It might need a little bit of work and stuff. And he's out in Arizona. He don't want to keep going through the rigmarole, but he asked me every question in the book except down payment. And he never asked me about an actual timeline. I said, we usually leave up out of these deals, maybe 5-7 years, just depending on the situation, depending on how the market go. And he was like, okay, let's do it.
How much longer he got on the loan?
I have to look at the market statement. I can pull it up though.
Yeah, I would just make it the same as that. Or either 30 years.
Same. Good point.
You got a mortgage.
Whenever that one matures, say 2047 or whatever year it is, make his mature in 2047 or later if you want to.
Yeah. What'd you say, Chicken?
You got the mortgage statement. Yeah.
I always ask for the mortgage statement.
While they're on the phone.
Well, he had to go get his. He owned a bunch of property and stuff, so it took him some, a second. He's not like, you got levels to sellers and stuff. You know what I mean?
Motivated.
He was motivated. He is motivated. He's actually excited that I'm taking over this property. He's actually going to work with me on taking out an insurance claim on the roof so that we could get the roof fixed as well.
That would be smart. May 14, 2025, wasn't it the storm? Tore up all the houses in St. Louis. I think we got a little hail damage.
Mm-hmm.
They did several of our roofs with that. So, yeah. Roofs.
Yeah, he's a good guy, though. I'm excited about doing this particular deal. It's a great house, great area and everything. 3-bedroom, 1 bath. property. It's in what do they call it when the area not zoned or whatever? What's it called?
Unincorporated.
Yeah, it's in unincorporated. I was putting it out there as Hazelwood. People are like, no, it's not Hazelwood, but it's the Hazelwood School District. So they like, no, it's not.
It's in
No,
63042.
it's in 63136.
Oh,
It's on
yeah.
the other side of 270. It's a couple of blocks over from the Hazelwood High School.
Did you know that 63136 does more cash deals than any other zip code in St. Louis?
Oh, for real? I didn't know
Yep.
that.
Yep, 63136, 63114, a couple of others, but yeah, 63136 at the top of that list.
You know, they heavily promoting when you go to the South County area. I see a whole lot of those. We buy houses and you know, we buy ugly houses and a lot of their advertising over there. I say you know, there's a reason that they over there advertising though.
Because that's where they make money at. I did about 12 deals in South County, especially when I used to live out there.
Damn.
So yeah, South County. I still own houses out there. I still got 5 or 6 houses in South County. So I'm like, shoot, them things went up. I said, dang, they went up how much? Just for holding it? All I had to do was hold the real estate. Don't wait to buy real estate. Buy real estate, then wait. That's all you got to do. And look up, and it's worth $100,000 more than what you paid for it.
Yeah, so then I got a situation with my 4-family flat deal. I'm kind of really considering, you know, if it's actually still a deal or not. I've taken over 2 of the doors of the 4 and stuff. Still got to go through the eviction process of the other 2. I've now been in all 4 units. 2 of the units look fine. They're gonna be good and stuff. You know, assuming that the people who are getting evicted don't get the busting holes and stuff out the wall. The other 2 sides are in pretty interesting condition. They're not. The floors, the paint, everything's good in those properties, but for whatever reason, people have stolen the cabinets and the countertops out of their property. So I would have to replace the countertops and the cabinets and stuff, which probably could easily be like, you know, on a low end, $2,500, $3,000 a unit, and then you know, gotta go through this process of dealing with the rears and all of that. So it's kind of stuff
on
like
Facebook
that.
Marketplace. If you find some on Facebook Marketplace, it could be cheaper.
Yeah.
On them cabinets and stuff. There's people selling that stuff.
There's a lot of potential cash flow in it for me, like over $1,600 a month. I got a strong list of people ready to go up in them and stuff, but you know, just the rears and what I would have to bring to the table if everything don't go 100% right. And I think Chris always tell me not to be in a position where if things have to go 100% right for you to make some money, it's probably not a good deal. So
right, because I got some of that coming up in this case study in a few minutes. Yeah, that's exactly what I found out too. You be thinking, oh, I'm gonna do this. It's gonna be perfect. Yeah, and then you woke up. Happens all the time. So I just try to, you know, make this stuff work where everybody's happy in the end and we all making money like it ain't funny. All right.
yeah.
So
I think
cool.
what's funny, I was telling Chris earlier this week, I'm like, people be having unspoken objections about this stuff. Man, if y'all doing this and y'all, you know, getting into this real estate game, this creative game and stuff, man, you know, make sure you believe in yourself. Believe in what we doing. Know that we all integrable people. It is people out here who do this stuff, you know, with evil intentions and stuff. So, you know, just have it right in you that, oh yeah, these are integrable people. They're doing right and stuff. That's why I feel good when people ask a ton of questions, because I'm like, you know, what we doing is legitimate. It is correct. You know, people can do their research. They can do their background on us and everything. The reason I say that is because my guy Trill had contacted me and he was asking me if I could take some photos of a house for him. And it's his auntie's house. His wife is actually going to be selling the property and stuff. I'm like, why you didn't bring it to me so I could buy it? And he like, yeah, my wife said you can't you know, you can't talk to her seller or whatever. I'm like, why not? And he like, oh, because she's trying to sell it for full price. I said, well, I can't buy it for full price.
Put that sign say right there.
Sell your house for full price. So it was kind of a funny moment, but it kind of shows you what people believe internally, even though we have tactics that we use to depending on the situation, that doesn't mean that we can't make a cash deal. We can make a cash deal and stuff, but we have to figure out, and work with the seller on what are their goals. Some people don't need all of their money up front. Some people just need maybe a little something to help them move and get established, and they want to buy a car or whatever. And there can be situations we can set that up, but we are real buyers. You know what I mean? All of us. And
Right.
whatever situation that you can fold and put together to make that happen for that person, people, just think, oh, you're a wholesaler, you're just going to, bid low on a property. No, I get you what you want, but I'm gonna let you know also if it's realistic or how can we get there. We might be able to get there, but it might not be the way that you want to get there. And that's a huge thing.
100%. That's why we do cash, terms last, because we got to see what number they really need to be at. If that number is low enough already, we can just do a cash deal. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you want retail or anywhere near retail, it probably will not be a cash deal. Nowhere in America, unless you get somebody, if you get lucky. Now, I'm not going to say it can't happen. You can get lucky and find somebody who wants to move into a property that has cash, and they'll pay top dollar or something closer to top dollar. But investors, not touching it. No way, no how. Because it's risky. It's a lot of risk to come along with this stuff. Especially if you're fronting the money. If you're bringing your own cash, your own capital, or borrowing somebody's money, hard money lenders. What happens if you don't pay your hard money lender, Justin? What that dude you was working with over there in Ferguson? What happened to them if they don't pay that bill?
They're gonna foreclose on your property.
Yeah, you'd be on the foreclosure list. We'll be reaching out.
We got a guy, one of the first guys I got under contract. He literally has paid hard money for going on about 2 years. He's paid hard money for so long that I'm for sure that the guy that made 100% of his money back, and now it's just all profit.
That's crazy.
And I've been trying to get him out the house for a long time. I've shown him a bunch of houses. I've shown him different ways, like, hey, we got properties and stuff. We can, take your house as a cash deal. You sell it for what you owe on it. And, we put you in this house and you're going to pay, this amount a month. And for whatever reason, he thinks he's smarter than the system. He think he's trying to make an exit with, bad credit. He's not going to be able to get a traditional house or apartment and everything. But he's still caught up in that presentation. He doesn't want to take a step back from the look and stuff. He drives a nice car and all of this stuff. And I'm like, you're basically paying rent on a house that you've been working on for 2 years now.
And never going to finish it.
Wow.
Yeah.
He don't want out. That's crazy.
Well, he got to move. He only supposed to be living in a house.
Yeah, he's trying to sell it for the equity that's in it. So he want to make maybe like $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 on the exit out the property. And every day he's up in it, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, because you really don't supposed to even be living in a property that's got a hard money loan on it, because it's sold to an LLC. It's supposed to be non-owner occupied for all intents and purposes. But he moved in and said, hey, I'm gonna figure it out, Mike. I'm gonna stay up in here. We're gonna make it happen.
Wow.
That's what we got. Cool. So I'm gonna pull up this case study. Are y'all ready for a case study?
Sure.
I said, are y'all ready for a case study?
Let's roll.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm ready.
Boom. We got a cash study. Not even a case study, a cash study. This cash cow in St. Louis, South St. Louis house that was purchased. What are we at? We just hit a year. I think that was around March of 2025. So we're in April 2026 now. And this thing's been a roller coaster, but I think we got it finished out. So let's see what we got here. Let me do this. I guess I got to click there. There we go. Number one, how do we find this house? We saw it on a late Thursday evening on the auction list. It was going to be auctioned, I think, the next Wednesday or something like that. And we saw it like Thursday, Friday, the week before. So it's already a couple days left. So we see a house on the auction. A simple Google search reveals that this property is actually on the MLS with the real estate agent for 180 something days. Ain't that something? The condition of the property, it was fully renovated about 2 years prior to that. It's got a new roof. It did a sewer lateral. The kitchen was all brand new. A whole bunch of stuff. Matter of fact, let me see. Can I do this? I can even click that to say see photo. A second. Let me get you some photos. I call myself putting it where you can click it, but that didn't work, I guess. Let's see. Yeah, so this house is a 2-bedroom, 1 bath in South St. Louis in Dutchtown. Let me share my screen here. Share. So this is the house, and it actually has a separate lot. So you got a house and a lot, and it has a 2-car garage in the back. So this is kind of how the house looked when the guy was moving out of it. He took all of his stuff. He left a few little items, but most of the stuff he took with him. All this open space here, all of that. So as you see, the house don't really need anything. It's just a house. It even has that little glow mirror, like where you push the button and it glow on your face, make you be like, oh, wow, I can see everything. Little cute little thing there. So, and that's the lot. Like I said, it's got a whole separate lot. So we got a house and a lot for free. Like, you know, if people say, you got any land? This house came with some extra land. You can almost build another house there. And that's the garage in the back, 2-car garage. And it had a little carport here. Because like we know, this is basically 2 parcels. According to the neighbor that lives next door, that's been there since like the early 90s, he said it was a house there, but it burned down. And the city never did nothing with it. So they just been claiming it as our property. So I guess, I don't know if it's included or what. Might have to do something to make sure that it's included as part of our property. Because they don't even have an address according to the city. So I guess it is part of this property. So it has a carport back here, garage, big old yard, big fence yard. It's a walkout basement. And yeah, that's how it looks from that direction. How it looked at that time.
That's a big old yard, man.
It's a double lot. You got a yard and a lot. Wait a minute, let me go back. And who got to cut all that grass? Not me.
Get a hire.
I seen them people over there. I ain't cut it. So we cleaned a lot of this up, though, all this greenery and stuff. We knocked a lot of that down. It's just how it looked kind of when we first got it.
It looked like a nice property.
It is a nice property.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of it. So, like I said, it was fully renovated. The guy moved in it, and he had a timeline, urgent, because the auction was just days away. The auction was that following Wednesday. Contacted U.S. Bank and requested to postpone the auction. The motivation. The seller said his wife left him. Isn't that sad? He no longer could afford those payments. I think it was around $1,100 a month, something like that. And he was about a year late on payments by the time I got a hold of this. Like I said, they already been on the MLS for many months. It's in pre-foreclosure, and the auction is looming less than a week away. So it's like, uh-oh, we're in trouble. Was it 180 something days? It was on the MLS. Would somebody even go out? Would you go out there something like this, Corey? Have you seen it on the MLS?
What was it listed for?
Full price, 160 or something like that, 165, and that's the ARV. It was asking full price.
Once I seen how long it was on there, I probably would have and try to do some negotiating.
But the problem is they owed that much. That's the only problem about it. Remember, they only had it 2 years. Anybody bought a house within 2 years typically don't have any equity, just general rule of thumb, unless you're in like California somewhere crazy where it go wild out there. But general rule of thumb, 2 years, you don't have any equity because it's just no time to go up from there.
Well, probably not then.
Can y'all even see that big or no? Let me see here. Make that bigger so I can see it. There we go. So yeah, this is the price. We bought the house for the loan balance. Justin's favorite number, loan balance. Would you sell it for what you owe on it? The answer is yes. After repair value is around 160, and according to their mortgage statement, they owed about on here it say 146, but the actual payoff was more than that because they tacked on probably about $9,000. Well, yeah, it was $9,000. This is what it was in arrears at that time, $9,200 in arrears. And this was last year, March of 2025. The payment, is it on here? $1,138 is what the payment is. Principal, interest, taxes, insurance. Yeah, he didn't pay too much. He got mortgage insurance of $85. That PMI. You know about that PMI?
20%.
What's PMI, Justin? Justin don't know what that is.
Principal, mortgage, interest.
What? PMI, private mortgage insurance. Typically, if you get, I think they do it on all FHA loans. If you get a loan and say you do that 3.5% down, they make you pay what's called PMI, meaning if you default, they have some type of insurance that'll cover the payment of your house so that they don't default. So that's why they pay that extra $85. So which could be a good thing because that's exactly what happened with this person. He was there for 2 years and he ended up having to, get these arrears put on the back of the loan, which I'll get into in a second. So that's what I ended up doing with this house.
So do you do midterm with this one or what do you do with this one?
Let's find out. Let's try and see. First of all, we had to buy the house. How did we stop the auction? We found out who the lender and trustee was. We found out it was U.S. Bank. We sent an email with proof of funds, a fully executed purchase agreement, and an authorization to release information. Now, why would we want to send these documents? Got any idea, Corey?
How do I stop the auction?
So
you need to know
on the left side here.
Left side.
The proof of funds. Why would we want to do that?
I guess they need to know that you can purchase it, that you're capable of buying it. The fully executed purchase agreement. You got to know, you got to have that as well.
For sure.
Authorization to release information. I'm not sure about that. What's up with that?
All right, let me see. Justin might be able to help us. Justin, the authorization to release information. What is that and why do we need it?
So we get the seller to sign off on those documents, which allow us to communicate with the bank directly.
That's it. It's a third party. Some people call it a third party bank letter that gives you authorization to speak on behalf of the borrower. Without that, they're not really supposed to talk to you. So they're going to have you send it over with social security number, loan number, stuff like that. Matter of fact, I think I got one of those in here. Authorization to release information. Authorization to release. Everybody should have one of these in their combat pack. I'm going to share that screen now if I can do this without messing up something. How do I get out of this screen? Shrink that one and then share this one. Share this tab instead. Add to stage. Come on. This one. Basically got the creditor name, the creditor address, property address, loan number. I always just put Chris Monroe and or signs or agents. And then they have to sign. Typically, they want to have a wet signature. Why do they want a wet signature, Chicken? You got any idea?
I don't know. It'd be, well, I do know. It'd be fraud.
Not necessarily fraud. The reason they would want what's called a wet signature is because they're supposed to match this up to the signature card on file at the bank.
No,
that's what they're supposed to do.
We can do this digitally, right? With like DocuSign or something.
Typically, they want wet signature. Most banks. I mean, some will probably take a digital now in 2026, but general rule of thumb, they want a wet signature. So I always have my borrower or seller sign this, print it out, sign it, and send it back wet. So there's no confusion or problems with the bank, especially if you're dealing with this auction stuff. We don't want them to be like, oh, we don't take digital.
Like email, like they'd like print it off, sign it, scan it, or whatever, and send it.
Send it back to me. That's correct. I always send them instructions. Print this out, fill out the information you know. Whatever you don't know, leave it blank. Make sure to sign, print, date of birth, social. and they fill it out and send it back. Just that easy. And then I take this document and I include it in my package of documents that I send over to the bank. Make sense?
Absolutely.
So that's what we did here. So that's the authorization to release information document. So we sent over proof of funds, meaning we can perform, executed purchase agreement signed by the borrower, saying that, yeah, we can buy the house. We're buying the house. We have what's called equitable interest in purchasing the property. And then the authorization to release information. That just gives us permission to speak to the bank on behalf of the borrower. Now, this is the actual email that was sent to stop the auction. How about that? I went back and pulled it out the records. This was on March 5th, 2025. Like I said, it's been about a year. And that's a generic email. Hello, we would like to request to have this loan. I'm supposed to say auction postponed, but loan postponed so the title work can be completed on loan number. And I put the loan number in there. I blocked it out for security purposes. I have attached the authorization of release signed by the borrower. We should have this closed by the end of March 2025. And this was early March. And I think the auction was like March 8th or something, like 3 days after this or a week after this, something like that. And I said, please confirm receipt. And if you need anything else, let me know. So I sent this on Wednesday. It looks like on here. It went out Thursday, Friday. I'm starting to get worried. Like, oh, snap, next week. Then Saturday morning, they sent the email and said, we have postponed your auction. So that was U.S. Bank stopping the auction on a dime, and that was in like 3 days.
That was the only communication via email, right?
Yeah. Real estate breeze through paperwork. That's it. You ain't never got to talk to nobody in real estate, to be honest, unless you're doing seller calls or something. But real estate breeze through paperwork. What does your paperwork say? That's why it's so important to have tight documents. So that's what I sent over and didn't even make the email good. You can see it say, I would like to request to have this loan postponed. So to say auction postponed, but whatever. They did it. They knew what I meant.
It worked.
It worked. So
That's what took the extra days.
Exactly. I've tightened this up since then. This was like, probably one of the first ones I was doing back when I started stopping auctions about a year or two ago. So how much did we pay the agent? Remember, this was on the MLS, the multiple listing service with an agent. And they typically want to get 3% of the purchase price. Is that going to work in this deal? No. We said, hell no, we ain't paying no 3%. We negotiate. We got her to agree to $1,500 on the closing. It would have been, I don't know, what's 160? 3% of 160,000. More than 1,500, ain't it?
Yeah.
So there you go.
Like close to 5, yeah.
I ain't giving her no $5,000 on the house. She can't.
I mean, she didn't have to do nothing though, did she?
Yeah, she had it on the MLS for 180 days.
Yeah,
Doing nothing.
Doing nothing. About to be. She didn't even,
3%.
matter of fact, she didn't even know the house was going to
I
foreclosure.
can take that 1,500. That's crazy.
No, when I've talked to real estate agents, when they, I send something to them, a letter of intent. Usually, the two experiences I can't speak from Ferry is I've sent over a letter of intent for a creative option with a homeowner. They're like, "Oh, I'm no longer representing them after they talk to the homeowner."
So yeah, we had to negotiate because they're not getting 3%. They can't sell it, and like I said, she didn't even know that this house was going to auction next week. I'm like, yeah, I saw you had a listing up. Is that house still available? Just a generic question, just to see what she say. I'm looking at it. I see it's on the MLS, and I know it's in pre-foreclosure. But I asked anyway, hey, yeah, what's going on with the house? Is it still available? Yeah, but they can't get it sold. And she started giving me all these reasons why it cannot be sold. Yeah, because he owed this much. And I said, well, I mean, what if there was a way we could buy it and make sure he doesn't go to foreclosure? I mean, do you think that would help him out? Yeah, that'll help him. I mean, but I don't think there's a way you can do it. I said, what makes you say that? My favorite question to anything they say crazy and outlandish. What makes you say that? She said, oh, because he took one of those 5-year forgivable loans on it and started giving me all these reasons on why we can't do it. I said, we take those over too. That's not a problem. What if there was a way we could take it over? That's always the position. They tell you can't do it. What if there was a way we could do it? That's the question we should be asking when somebody tell you can't do something. What if we could find a way to do that thing you just told me we can't do? And then we do it. So we negotiated $1,500. I think she got less than $1,500 on the settlement statement. Let's see here. Oh snap! Let me go back. I should push that button. I don't even know if you can see that. Let's see here. So this here states that she got $1,489 is what she ended up getting. $1,489 to get for the real estate commission for the agent. So we bought the house for the loan balance, which it says at $156,000. Damn, that's a lot, ain't it? But out of pocket, how much we come out of pocket to buy this house? $2,570. A move-in ready house, Corey. How many houses could you buy for $2,500 out of pocket like this?
Not many.
You can buy as many as we can find.
I guess so, but I ain't never seen it happen. You got it. That's what I'm here for.
It was on the MLS.
Yeah, but
it was on the MLS and on auction on a pre-foreclosure list, and nobody reached out to him.
Man, that's crazy.
On a beautiful move-in ready house in South St. Louis on a double lot with a 2-car garage move-in ready.
Help me understand your cost. Where your cost at? You said 2,000 and what?
Yeah, so at the bottom right down here where it say due for
25 cents. Okay,
$2,570.80.
So what was that for though?
So $300 was a closing fee, $50 was a closing protection letter, some junk, $4 e-recording, $525 search exam fee, $175 owner's policy, the $1,489 for the real estate agent, a $27 deed recording. Wait a minute, did they charge me twice for deed recording? I don't know. Who knows? But basically, it was about $1,000 in closing costs plus $1,500 to the agent. That's what we got this house for.
You won.
We ain't even made no money though. Remember, we just bought it. We ain't got to the dispo side. We still talking about buying a house. Creative.
They had to file the endless pendants on it, and then the deed transfer. That's where the 2 filing fees are.
Okay, Mike, look at that. Chicken be knowing this stuff. Don't let him fool y'all. He knows some stuff. That's it. So that's the settlement statement. Any questions about this statement before I move to the next slide? All right, we'll keep it moving. Oh, we closed this deal in, does that say 3/11 or 5/11? I can't even see that myself. I'd like to say 5/11.
I think like 5.
Yeah, we closed it in May. So I had it under contract. You know, the day we get it under contract is the day we start marketing. The day we get it under contract is the day we start marketing. Just for the people in the back just thinking about it. We get the contract first. We get the keys for access to the property, and we start marketing the day we get it. Very, very important. So, some of the problems we ran into. Everybody loves problems. We try to put it out as a rent-to-own lease purchase, but I kept running into people talking about some 2,000 down, 3,000 down. It's only a 2-bedroom. I need more bedrooms. That bedroom too small in the front. Some people were afraid of Dutchtown. You know anything about Dutchtown, Corey?
Yeah. I had a few in Dutchtown, Osage, Oregon.
It's the roughest part of South St. Louis County, South St. Louis City.
Yeah.
But we can make money there, as we're going to show you here in a moment.
Yeah.
3 weeks went by fast, so I'm like, oh, snap, this house still vacant, and I'm trying to market it. I ain't getting no good hits. Something ain't right. It usually gets somebody in 2 weeks. You know, I'll roll a week or two. Or they beating down my door. It's a move-in ready house. Why ain't they going? And it was some stuff that I did. Basically, I wasn't marketing it properly. I was half doing the marketing, just to be honest, because there's only 2 reasons a property won't sell. The marketing sucks or the price is too high. I couldn't adjust the price, so it was just my marketing that was bad on it. I put it out for $159.9, I believe. And another problem I came into, it was some mold in the basement. I had to pay about $800 to get somebody to come in there to pull the panels out and treat for mold and got rid of that stuff. So there's a little bit of mold downstairs. Not a big deal, but it was an expense. You got to count it. Now, Chicken, what would you do with a move-in ready house in South St. Louis like this?
Do the owner They put money down and then their lease purchase or not lease purchase. Well, depends upon lease purchase or owner they buy whatever. Yeah,
Okay. So some type of creative exit. What
yeah.
about you, Justin Holmes? What would you do with a move-in ready house in South St. Louis, 2-bedroom on a double lot?
Find a tenant buyer who want to go in and drop that bezag.
That's correct. Also, got to keep in mind at this time, remember that statement said they owe like $9,200 in arrears. So I'm like, oh, somebody should be able to come drop 10. I could pay those arrears and do that. This was my mindset at the time, by the way. I'm thinking, oh, I can get they 10 or 12 or 15 or whatever I can get and put that and get the loan caught up. But you know, I ain't doing that, by the way. So Corey, what would you do with a move-in ready 2-bedroom house like this in South St. Louis in Dutchtown?
Same thing, tenant lease.
So remember,
Tenant lease with option to buy or midterm. I get
come
creative.
on with it. Get creative and innovative. That's
It really just depends because you know that side lot, man. People are like that.
That's what I had to do. I put it out on I furnished that bad boy and put it out as a furnished rental. That's exactly what I did.
Yeah.
And I said, I got to get somebody in here, make some money, man. I done fronted my money out and put money out on this thing. I'm cutting grass and spent these expenses. Electricity on, gas on, water, sewer, trash on. You know, it's like, well, wait a minute. Somebody got to pay for this, not me. We got to get somebody in here. So I furnished that bad boy. I put that little dining room set in there, that little queen bedroom set in the back, and a little living room set in here. So I rented it. So I had it rented for a couple of months for like $26.50. I rented it periodically on Airbnb, Air Bed and Breakfast, for weeks at a time. I had one guy come in for 2 months on Airbnb, went home back to Louisiana, then came back and got another 2 months on Airbnb. So that was on point. I was glad to see him. I was like, oh, you already know the play. I'm glad to see you back from New Orleans. He was coming on back in. And so he stayed there. So this is all time going by from back last year to now. This is the story we're going through now. So we rented it on Furnish Finder for a few months. And before you know it, a whole year went by. I'm like, man, it's cool to have a furnished rental, but a lot of people don't realize when you're doing furnished rentals, Airbnb, VRBO, Booking.com, things like that, it's hospitality. It's not necessarily real estate. You got to clean linens. You got to clean towels every time. People checking in, checking out. They're very needy. They need your help. We need something. Very can be labor intensive. So that's another expense. You got to account for it. Cut the grass, all of that. You still maintaining the house. You're being paid for it, but it's, it's intermittent. It's not steady like you would want it to be per se. So while it was cash flowing, what else was I doing? I was structuring a partial claim with the U.S. Bank. It took them several months. So remember, I stopped the auction and it just stayed off auction for multiple months. Then it came up with another auction date, I think around September or October or something like that. I stopped the auction again. And then I got the actual bank to agree to do a partial claim. A partial claim is when the bank agrees to put all arrears, fees, etc., on the back of the loan as a silent second lien. But U.S. Bank said they would agree to do this if we were able to successfully complete a 3-month trial payment period. So we had to go in and make a payment every month. So we had to do January, February, and March of this year. Remember, this is a year after the fact, after I stopped for the first time. So that whole year, we ain't had no payments. Don't tell nobody. We had a whole house cash flowing for a whole year.
Hold on.
Yeah.
So you ate for a whole year off of this house.
Yeah, paperwork,
baby.
Man.
And so lo and behold, after all of that, remember it was like 9,000 something. By the time the next year went by, it was up to like over 20,000. So they agreed to put that 20,000 on the back of the loan. After we completed those 3-month trial period, we just made the last payment last month. So now it's back on regular scheduled programming.
So
like nothing ever happened, and they removed those.
Yeah, talk about that a little bit.
What you want to know about
that? Would you just do a request to put the second back on the note? Or
so here's the play. You ready for the play?
Yeah. Let me hear this play.
Justin knows this play. He loves this play too. So what we do is we remember we sent documents over from the beginning: purchase agreement, the authorization to release, proof of funds. That authorization to release gives us permission to speak to the bank. When we call to speak to the bank, Mr. Banker, what options are available to help get us back on track here with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 loan? They're going to say, well, we may have a program. Now, you have to ask them openly, by the way, do you have any programs that can help us get back on track? They're going to look, they're going to say, chicka, 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 chicka. They're going to say, oh, wow, he's an FHA loan. Yeah, we have something. Let's see, we'll put you in to submit. And that's why it took months, because it take them 30, 60, 90 days to even go through the process. So all that time, I'm eating off this house, eating. And then they finally approved it if we completed a 3-month trial period.
So is this a sub 2? So is this a sub 2?
That was my question, Mike.
This property was purchased subject to the existing financing with no equity. Some would say no negative equity, matter of fact.
So was this impacting the original tenant's credit for it going that whole year without no payment?
It was in review.
Oh, okay.
Well, I don't know if it is or not, to be honest, because once it's in review, our main thing is stopping the auction. It already tore up his credit before I got to him. So his credit ain't the issue right now. It's going to rebuild over time when we keep making that payment.
But he doesn't have a foreclosure.
He does not have a foreclosure on his record.
Wow.
So we prevented a foreclosure on a house that the agent couldn't sell. A wholesaler definitely can't touch a deal like this because they wouldn't know what to do with it. The average investor wouldn't know what to do with a deal like this. And this is why we study and train and get better here at futurecashflowclub.com to try to solve these complex problems that everybody else run away from. Because this was going to auction and the bank would have had this house. But ain't nothing wrong with it. It's move-in ready. Why would you have a move-in ready house going back to the bank? That don't make sense. So we got the bank to agree. So now we're all caught up. And we found a tenant buyer. We put back on as a lease purchase a year later after we had it as a furnished rental. We found a guy who was willing to put $10,000 down and pay the closing costs, bringing $11,900 to closing. And we closed that, what was that, last week or the first week of April, something like that. So we closed it up. We got a tenant buyer installed. And now we get to live happily ever after that huge, long roller coaster. And we actually, this isn't even a correct thing. We actually renegotiated this. He's paying $1,750 a month, not $1,550. He's paying $1,750 a month.
So you still cash flowing what? 6? What's this? What was it? 11?
Yeah. And so actually, that payment is down a little lower too, because when we switched the insurance, the payment went down a little bit.
Oh, that's what's up, man.
So all kind of goodies, the gift that keeps on giving when we're talking about real estate, creative real estate, the only real estate that matters. Now, what we learned, always have more than one exit strategy. Sound like something you said a little bit ago, right, Corey?
Yep.
You got to have more than one exit strategy and have some cash for unexpected expenses. That $800 could have put somebody out of commission. If you ain't got some money coming in or, something, when you're buying real estate, it is smart to have some line of credit, a credit card, something, because things can happen. We don't know. A tree can fall on the fence or, all kind of stuff can happen. Stuff happens. This is part of the game we play. This is why we're compensated, because we are taking a risk, whether you see it or not. I'm going to open up the floor for any questions. This broadcast was brought to you by futurecashflowclub.com. Questions?
You had the Airbnb thing set up, before closing, right?
Yeah. No, because I wasted about a month, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks trying to do a tenant buyer, and I didn't get anybody in there. And I'm like, well, wait a minute, I got to move that ready house. We got to make some money. I need my money back. I ain't going to be sitting up and playing that guy. I need my money back. So that's what I did with that. Any other questions?
Nah, this is awesome. It's right up. It's like
that's amazing.
It's perfect.
That's it. That's what we do creatively. And like I said, most real estate agents don't have a clue what I just talked about or what I did. Most real estate investors don't have a clue. Most wholesalers definitely don't have a clue because they're trying to beat them up and try to say, I can give you $100,000 for it. Because people were offering cash for that house. but he owed 150 something. I can't do nothing with that. It has to be creative. It has to be. There is no gray area about that. The only way to do it was a creative strategy. So this was a perfect scenario. He already had moved out. I didn't have to worry about finding a place for him to move or none of that type of stuff. I didn't have to do many of the things that we have to do when we're buying a house, other than wire some money over. By the way, I bought that house on a credit card. The $2,500 came off a credit card. How do we do that? You know how to buy a house with a credit card, Corey?
No.
Why not?
I don't know, man. I just never have.
Man, we finna hip you to the game, especially for a little money like that. $2,500 is not a lot of money. So
Tell me, I'm listening. I'm all ears.
let me see here. What's the name of this thing? Plastique. Plastique. That's the name of it.
Plastique.
That's right here. Plastique. I think I got a hold on, let me see. I might have a referral link just because I think we get some free money if I refer you. Hold on.
Definitely send it to me.
I'm finna put it in the chat. I'm finna send it right now.
Yeah.
If I can log in. Stupid thing freezing up. Is that freezing up or is it not letting me log in? It's so secure it don't want me to share the screen on the login.
So it turned your credit card payment to like an ACH or something?
It turns your credit card payment into a wire. They're gonna wire the money over. So they might charge you like $60 or something, or $80, whatever they charge. But yeah. Why can't I log in? What the heck? Hold on, man. Let me refresh this page. I don't play that junk. Log me in. Oh, all right. I'm gonna say, dang. Are we looking
Foreclosures and sub twos. I got to get to the program.
Game changer.
Man.
Game changer. Let me put in my code. Don't be trying to see what my code is, y'all. Oh my God. I just typed it in and it wasn't typing. Oh my God. Come on. I think I got a referral link. I think I do. Let me trying to see what I got on here though. Let's see. Is there a referral link?
Somebody in the chat said cash advance.
No, this is not a cash advance. This is a credit card. Like we use we got a credit card on file in here in their system, and we pay anybody. So if you got a bill, you can pay any bill. By the way, just to be very clear for the audience, you can activate your inbox. What is all this talking about? Well, I thought I had a referral link, but I guess I don't. Somewhere, I don't know. I'll find it. If I got one, I'll figure it out. But yeah, basically, I ended up putting that bad boy. You can pay any bill. So if somebody send you an invoice, they say, oh, here's your invoice, you need to pay it, but we don't take credit cards. You don't? Watch this. You take that invoice, put it in there, and they send them the money. So it's a third-party payment processor. So you can swipe your American Express, get points. You can swipe your Discover card, get points. You can swipe your whatever card you got is getting you points, and swipe it and pay the bill with that and get those points. And now you can fly and do all the other stuff. You know, that's getting deep in the weeds of this stuff. But when we're spending a lot of money, we want to get the benefit of spending a lot of money, right?
Why didn't I think of that, man? That's one
Come
hell of
on,
an idea.
you show up for it, Mike. You thought you was gonna show up and come out here like, oh, learn that, man. What you thought we was gonna not learn that?
Why do you think I showed up? I knew that wasn't happening.
Come on, I ain't gonna let you
man.
down. You know that.
Yeah. No, it's
So, yeah.
just in time. So this is perfect. Yeah.
So I bought that house with a credit card, $2,570, whatever it was, wired it over, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Closed that bad boy up, went through the whole roller coaster, furnished rental, found a tenant buyer. He gave me some money down. I moved all my furniture. I put into another house, which is another problem I'm dealing with now. Got to get somebody in that house now. This other house I bought, I took all that furniture and put in that house, and now we putting that on furnished rental. So it's a never-ending story. You know how that goes. Any other questions about that case study at all?
That was, man.
Questions on the lessons. Let me go all the way back. What was the name of it? Cash study. That's how I made that living room look nice, huh?
What's wild is the AI they got now can make you look awful close to that.
Yeah, you can do that on ChatGPT. They will actually furnish your house for you for free. Come on, man. But that's another story. It's so many tools and systems. There's really no excuse, to be honest, for anything anymore. If you truly want to be in real estate, you truly want to buy houses, you truly want to help people with their real estate issues, there's no excuse anymore. It's 2026. We got the solution for any problem that comes up.
Reiterate on what Justin was talking about earlier is about that, the the purpose of why you're doing what you're doing. You're being your integrity and character. That's
For sure.
what we are. We have integrity and character, and within that realm, it's like no, it's like you can be a solid person and accomplish and make this happen
Every day. And this is why I always say, the stuff that I'm teaching here can be used for good or it can be used for evil. Don't be evil. Don't be an evildoer. That's why I really be skeptical. Like, should I even say this on the internet? Some of this stuff, like, boy, if you knew some of the stuff you knew. Like, for instance, even with this, putting these arrears on the back of the loan, about how much would they allow you to put back on the back of the loan, you think, Chicken?
options available. Probably the numbers doesn't matter.
I mean, how much do you think? Would they put, like, say the house was $200,000? How much would they be able to put in on the back of the loan?
I would say any amount, as long as there might be a limit on percentage on the bank, but I don't know that.
Karen said it was a modification. No. So there's a difference. A modification is going to start over a brand new loan sometimes. They might start you over fresh from day one. They might start you over fresh and say 40 years. They might say 30 years. They might say a new interest rate. That's a modification. The payment might get lowered. But what we did was called a partial claim. We just took the arrears and junk fees and all that and put it on the back. It's a partial claim versus a modification.
Like what they did during COVID for FHA loans.
Right. Same thing. It's the exact same thing. It's a partial claim. As a matter of fact, they still have funds for COVID to do these partial claims. But to answer the question that I asked you a second ago, Chicken, up to 30%. Up to 30% can be put on the back of the loan. And that can make a big difference. That's a lot of money. You were saying something, Corey? Or are you on the phone?
I got a question.
So I wanted to ask you, because we didn't really talk about that, but what was the interest? What was the rate on it?
It was on a slide. Let's see. I think it was like 6%.
Oh, okay.
Whatever it is, I didn't have to qualify for it. We forgot about that part, everybody. I didn't have to qualify for this loan. 6.125.
And that was in 25. That was probably a good number for in 2025.
But I think he bought it in 2023. So 2 years.
Okay.
So yeah, that's why I say, remember, ladies and gentlemen, I didn't pull any type of tax returns. I didn't show any of my bank statements. I didn't show any of my W-2s. I didn't show proof of income. I didn't say I had a job, but none of that stuff. I didn't do any of that to acquire a property. I used a skill set. You don't need money to buy real estate all the time. You need a skill set. Get your skills up, and then your bills will not go up. All right. Justin had a question?
Yeah. So here's my question, Chris. Did you have to work with the seller on filling out the loan modification paperwork, or did they just do it?
What if I told you there is no loan modification paperwork other than a notary document at the end of all of this? So just to be very clear, this whole process, just to start this process, it was done over the phone. There is no paperwork to start the process other than what we already talked about.
And it's just the other party agreeing.
Exactly. This is why we have to be able to build good rapport with our sellers. Because when I tell a seller to jump, only thing they should be saying is how high. Nah, man, why we got to do that? That sounds illegal. What's this? What's that? They ain't doing nothing illegal. But it's more so they need to trust you and know that you're going to work with them and get them through this process. And he is ecstatic. He is so happy. I went to see him, as a matter of fact, when we signed the final documents to this, because I had to do a mobile notary. So I had a mobile notary go to the house. I met them over there, had him sign the documents. He had to sign like 5 places. And this is at the end now. Remember, just to come back to Justin's question, I did not have to do any paperwork in the beginning. This was all over the phone. Yes, we want to do a partial claim. And then they went through their process. And then they do their underwriting or whatever and see if they can do it. They agree to do it. Then at the end, after we did our 3-month partial, our 3-month payment plan, That's when they sent the documents to change and put those on the back of the loan with that documents at the end with the mobile notary. Make a sense?
Yeah. All right, I got another one for
Did you set up the mobile notary or did they?
I did it. I don't use their mobile notary. They did try to have somebody call. That's another thing too. So when I do these deals, just to be very clear, I get all communication from the lender sent to me. Mail comes to me. Phone calls come to me. Nothing goes to that seller anymore. I take over everything because I don't want them to mess up the thing and not respond, because that's what's happening to my other house down here. The lady got the mail and she didn't respond. I'm like, damn, I thought I switched the address. For some reason, they didn't switch the address. Now it's switched, and now we started the process all over again. That's going to be another case study for another day. Another house that I've been sitting on for 6-7 months, ain't made no payments. Don't tell nobody. But yeah, this is how the game go. So yeah, we can definitely do this over the phone with the bank. They'll do everything they need to do on their end. We make the payment. That payment secures the deal. When we do our 3-month payment, that secures the deal. And then they send over paperwork to say, all right, we agree to put this on the back of the loan. They sign it in front of a mobile notary, and I provide the notary. I think she charged me like $40, something like that. I'd rather just pay that versus having some other notary from somebody else like, oh, what's this? What's going on? You're not living in the house? Not saying that they would do that, but I don't want that to happen. So I just take control of all that and I send it back to them. They provide the self-addressed or return envelope to send it back overnight. And we just fill it out and put in an envelope, send it back UPS or FedEx.
All right, Chris, I do have another question. So,
you got 3 questions. Come on with it. Hit me with your hardest question.
So let's just say we heard all the great things about this, right? Let's just say you go through the process, you stop the auction, everything going good. Whenever you remember, I think you said they came back to you 12 months later, and then you negotiated the balance and to put it on the back side of the loan. What if they did not do that? You would have had to come out of pocket at that time for that. I mean, what if they would have said, "Hey, we need all of that, all the arrears paid now, or we're just going to re-foreclose on the house"? I guess you would only thing you would be losing is what you put in on it at the beginning. Have you ever had a situation where it didn't go the way you didn't want it? It didn't go the way you wanted to?
Not necessarily. As long as my borrower do what I tell them to do, we got no problems. Now, if you get a problem with them and they're like, "Oh, I ain't signing nothing," or "My wife ain't gonna sign," or some old silly stuff like that, that can be a problem.
Yeah,
that can definitely be an issue. Because sometimes you got a husband and a wife on there, and they might not be getting along or whatever. The wife might say, "I ain't signing nothing for that fool. I hope he die in that house," or anything. And now you looking stupid like, "Oh, damn, I can't do this deal because I need the wife to sign." That can mess up a deal.
Yeah.
Corey,
what's up, man?
The analysis paralysis, man. The what ifs. Don't slide that to us. Get out of your own way, man. Take that.
I like to think about all.
Yeah, man. It's gonna happen, and then this is, we're moving through it. Like, we'll tackle that when we get it. Don't even worry about it. Don't even sweat it. Out of the way. Tell that stuff. Shut up. I'm speaking from experience.
So yeah, general rule of thumb: if you're dealing with a big bank, U.S. Bank, Wells Fargo, these type of people, they have whole departments to deal with loss mitigation. They don't want the house back. The bank don't want the house. Just to be very clear about this, they do not want the house. Now, you're dealing with some little rinky-dink bank, they might have some different rules. They might actually foreclose. Yeah. I think out of all the years of doing this, I think I've had one bank literally take a house that I was working on like this. And this was way back in like 2019 or something. Like, I was still kind of learning. So, because I was actually at the dude's house, and this house was a move-in ready house down in Jefferson County. I'm thinking, oh man, I got the seller here. We're finna call on the phone right now, 3-way. They was like, yeah, we're gonna send the payoff. The auction was in like 7 days. And they told me, oh yeah, we can send it, but it's gonna take 7 days to send it over, or 7 days to even receive the documents you're sending us. And I'm like, 7 days? Y'all trying to take this man's house? And he had equity. This house was worth about $225, something like that. He only owed like $120, so it had equity in the deal. But the bank was trying to be real, and I was there with the seller. It wasn't like no slick stuff. I'm there with the borrower seller on the phone with them, and they were basically giving it a hard time just to say they took the house. Basically, they took that man's house. That's the only one time that ever happened. But that was some rinky-dink bank that I don't even remember what bank that was. But anybody can do anything. We just roll with the punches. Like he said, the what ifs, they are what they are. But generally, in my experience, they don't want these houses. They want to prevent the foreclosure. They want to get it back up performing, because non-performing debt on their books hurts them. They don't want to show non-performing debt. They want to show performing debt, meaning somebody's paying on it every month. Justin still got a question. Justin never run out of questions.
I'm just rolling with the punches, mine. I'm ready for more deals. I'm excited.
What are you going to do to get some more deals, Justin?
You know what, Chris? The honest to God truth, man, this stuff too easy.
It is. Don't tell everybody that. They think they gonna quit their day job.
Bro, they really don't believe it's where being a one-man show and everything. Where it gets difficult is trying to line up the people for the tenant buyers. But anytime I start up the engine of trying to go out and get a deal, it's like boom, 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 boom. Because I know the sauce, the formula and stuff. Once you learn how to have the conversation, man, people be having all kind of scenarios where they would just give you their house. Like they just give it to you and stuff. And you just got to put yourself in the conversation. Just talk to them. And they're like, yeah, I just, if I could get, I'd have had houses that I was so close. The foreclosure was like 2 or 3 days. And I think the lady, I was talking to the family and their mother who actually had the loan in her name. She was in like a home facility or something like that. So I just didn't get to it early enough. And they was ready to go at $1,000. They was gonna sign whatever I told them. So, and there's a lot of situations out there. Like if you're not going out and door knocking, you just don't want it. You know what I mean? You can keep calling, everybody calling, people calling from all over the country, wholesalers and stuff, but they're not able to make contact with these people because a lot of these people be not having good phone numbers, good emails. They switch their numbers every 3 to 4 months and stuff. So, the online data and stuff is not going to have it. But there are so many different people that need help that's ready to leave out of real estate. It's overwhelming. Like, I have, thousands of leads and thousands of people to respond to. I got hundreds of text messages right now for people who are looking for property. And then it's like, okay, I go get the property. And then now I just got to find the perfect fit for the property and everything. So
start having more open houses, Justin. Start having an open house. They already planned, like today's Sunday, Wednesday, 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock is an open house at this house. Everybody come in, somebody want to do that. You already know ahead of time. 5 to 6 o'clock is a 1 hour open house. And now you ain't got to be running back and forth, jumping through hoops for these people.
Right. So, we dispoing a lot of property and stuff right now. I'm dispoing Chris properties. He did, helping me here and there with mine and everything. And, there's deals we got to take them down one at a time because you don't want to get, too deep, too overwhelmed and stuff. But there's so many different deals, so many opportunities out here. Rather they go into the foreclosure or they're a tenant buyer. Or they're a tired landlord. There's a lot of those out there. You also have who I just talked to the other day. Eon, he bringing a deal to me tomorrow that I'm gonna be talking to. He basically said they moved out of town. They ready to just get rid of the house and stuff. So easy stuff, just figuring out the problem. And I got a tenant buyer who won a property over there, 3-bedroom, who say they got 15 grand. So all I'm gonna do is get that house under contract and run the play.
I'm gonna have to take this house down because I had actually assigned this to somebody else, but it got title issues. So I have to convert this from a cash deal to a creative deal now. So just to give time to clean up the title work. And this house is moving and ready. Don't need nothing. Let me see here. Still look the same as he got it 2 years ago. And it come with the appliances. This is how it looked when he first got it, but it looks similar to that. He didn't mess it up or nothing. So yeah, I'm gonna end up having to close on this house.
That's nice, man.
Yeah, kitchen nice, everything. I'm like 3-bedroom, nothing wrong with it. So I'm buying it for what he owed on it anyway. So I had it under contract for 120. I got an end buyer at 128. I was gonna make 8,000, but I'm not making that no more. We're gonna make probably more because I'm gonna have to get into the creative bag. Stop it. He don't have an auction yet, but there is an auction pending. But I'm gonna stop that and then get the arrears put on the back of the loan and go that whole play because he did this exact thing 2 years ago, or actually in 2023. I thought it said on his paperwork. So I'm like, well, dang, if he did it 3 years ago, I think he can only do this like every 2 years. So he can do this again and put a second set of lien on the back of the loan. That's crazy, ain't it? Never pay a house. Just every 2 years, put it back on the back of the loan.
So, Chris, let me ask you this: how do you personally decide on which houses to keep and which houses to dispo? Is it? Are you looking at your account like I want more cash? You know what? Because to me, that look like a beautiful home. And my thing would be even me with, let's say, if I had no money, I'm like, I just want to keep this because it's just a beautiful
It's a
home.
nice house. Yeah, I would just keep that house. Why would I sell a beautiful home that's moving ready? It don't
You're
need
about
any.
to sell it though, right?
Yeah, but it got some title issues. But I'm gonna need time to fix all of that. So I'm like, I'll just take it over to sub 2.
Hey Chris, how much? How much? I'm sorry. Go ahead, Justin. My apologies.
I just want to make sure the decision. So you was going to sell a house like that is beautiful, that's going to go up in value, like it's in a great area for $8,000, right? Today, because of the title issues, you chose not to sell it. You're going to do the creative play. But what will make you, with a house like that, decide between going cash and just get a quick, clean 8, or keeping it and saying this is a good one for my portfolio? How do you make that decision?
It's not a decision. The marketplace decides. I don't decide anything. I put it out to the marketplace and they tell me what they want to do. If somebody tell me I give you 20,000, I'm selling it for 20,000. I'm like, oh, I got $2,000. And that don't really sound too appealing. It's all about what the marketplace thinks. It ain't even me. I don't decide this stuff. So the marketplace told me that I had it out at 135 because the ARV is like 185 on this property and it don't need nothing. So they was just gonna clean it up, put it back on the market. I was gonna make my little AK and run on down the street and go find another deal. Because I wasn't gonna do that either at first, because I was like, damn, I was working all these other houses that I'm working on myself. So I was like, well, I ain't really got to do nothing but market this house. But he's still living in it. Once he moves out, I can be able to do whatever I want.
Do you have to renegotiate with the seller?
I already do.
Okay, so you already renegotiated with the seller as a creative deal. Hey, we're gonna go ahead and take over the mortgage, blah 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 blah. Okay.
Yeah, I told him we're just gonna take over the payments, try to get your loan back current, and get you situated that way. He's like, oh, okay. He trusts me. I mean, he met me like 5 times now, so.
Right.
And this was a cold call from way back before. What? I've been working with this dude since what? February? This is March or April. This is back in February. We've been dealing with this. And I found it way early before it even hit all the auction sites and stuff, because it got an auction set for May 7th. But we're going to get that stopped and, roll with it like that. Buy it subject to, and do whatever other extra strategy we need to do from that point. It's payment only $800 a month. And I could probably get $1,800 a month for that.
I was just I remember I told you about that neighborhood friend at the track meet, man. I just sent you the address. I was trying to get you have you all get on a call with him, but he said he at the family forum right now. He kind of tied up, so he said tomorrow. But I don't know. It might be one that you or Justin can call on.
That was another thing I was gonna tell Chicken and stuff. Hey, let's get some. I don't know if you're still listening in, Chicken. Let's get some deals in the pipeline for you, man. Start calling me and Chris with some of these people you're talking to, and let us get you through the finish line. That's what we're here for and stuff. We can't be in the same breath saying this stuff too easy and not helping, people part of the group get through the finish line. Trail brought that deal to the table. That deal will be closed, in the next 15, 20 days or so. And he just want to see us, getting it through the finish line and stuff. And it just builds his confidence to go take down his own deals. So that's all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you can bring that to the table, Corey. We'll get it done.
Cool. Yeah, I just try to, figure out what they're trying to do, what would they like to happen, and help them get there. It's just that easy. It's not to overthink it. I ain't trying to go do a bunch of, let's go calculate a bunch of numbers. I mean, we can calculate numbers, but I really want to understand what they're trying to do.
So on this particular one that you're showing, from the little knowledge that I have on it, he rented it out. This was his home. This was him and his family's place before he built a new home. And he was like, he's going to become a landlord. So he rented it out long term. And I think the people that was there are at the point now, I guess they ready to become homeowners. And now he found out that think he said he owes in the 90s somewhere, like 90, I think. It's 80 or 90. I don't want to say the wrong number.
Exactly what he owes. Hold on, let me check.
But what he found out is he owed like 20 something thousand in HOA fees. So now HOAs, huh?
Yeah, that HOA will tear you up.
Yeah. So he when we were talking, he asked me to come look at it. Maybe I can help him, give him some suggestions on remodeling or doing some updating. It really only needed paint, paint, flooring, and light fixtures, stuff like that.
But this house is in Texas, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So you it's gonna be a little different on trying to do a lease purchase if you do something like that with this house.
Okay. Even if it was to be like a sub, what would be different, Chris?
Well, I'm talking about on the exit, not the purchase. You can buy a subject too. That's not a problem. Problem is if you try to do a lease purchase in Texas, there's some different rules.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Texas funny about executory contracts because they, these people are. Oh, he had it on the MLS back in 2018.
I guess I don't know.
Yeah, he owed $99,000.
Today he do?
Yeah, hold on.
Okay.
Share this tab. Yeah, he owes about $99,000 according to right there. $99,000.
Gotcha.
He had it on the MLS back in 2018. Or that's when he bought it or something? No, I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Oh, he had it for 18 years. My bad.
I'm not sure. Yeah, he said they lived there for a while. So
yeah, they had it for 18 years.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they even know how old they are. Look at this. They know everything. I know their net worth.
Dang.
You know all this stuff about these people. Or her. I said him. It's a her. Female.
No, it's both.
Oh, okay.
It's a husband and wife. So.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Yeah. Discretionary income. How do you know what your discretionary income is?
That's crazy.
You be blowing $6,000 a month on junk.
But now I was wondering if I could figure out a way to see if just catching him up on the HOAs would is that a way to walk away with it?
Talk to the HOA. Mm-hmm. Just have a conversation with them. What options are available? It's my camera. I don't know why this thing be doing it. My biggest.
I guess he would have to agree first, though, right?
Not necessarily. You can go up there and have a generic conversation. Let's just say I moved into one of the condos here and say we got a little bit behind on it. Say, maybe $10,000 or $20,000 in arrears. Yeah. I mean, what kind of plan would you give us to get that straightened out?
Okay.
No, we don't do any plans, sir. Probably talking to the wrong person. The person at the desk. You need the person that's the decision maker.
Yeah.
Or we're thinking about buying one of the properties there, but from what we understand, you can tell them there's some back HOA fees on there. We want to know what options are available to get that all caught up.
Okay.
Or what options are available to get this cleaned up so we can purchase the house, because it kills the deal for us to be able to buy it. You can literally tell them that. No, I'm talking about
Corey hungry right now, boy. You can see it in his eyes. He's ready, boy. You see him everywhere. He like this. Corey ain't gonna be one of them guys who's not gonna do a bunch of deals.
Huh?
I said, you're not gonna be one of them guys who don't do a bunch of deals. I see.
Yeah, he hit the ground running. He ain't playing.
Everybody else be talking. He really doing it. He like, yeah.
And listen, this all came from last week meeting. I wasn't even thinking about it. Like, then all of a sudden the guy started talking about the kind. I'm like, okay. So what's the problem? Like, started talking about HOAs. I'm like, that's it. I think I reached out to Chris, was like, hey man, I got a situation here.
Get a copy of the bylaws of the HOA, see what their rules are, and then have a conversation with somebody there who can tell you what's going on, what options are available. They might say we'll take a short payoff. Mm-hmm. It's something called a short sale. We do short sales on those liens all the time. We can do a short sale on any lien, to be honest. A mortgage, HOA. He owed $20,000. Would you guys say $2,000 is pay off in full? Worst thing they could say is no. Yeah, we're trying to help them out. They're about to, they got some situations going on here. I mean, we're trying to buy it, but I mean, that HOA is kind of killing it. That lien. I mean, would you guys take $2,000 as pay off in full and call it even? They might take it. I always offer 10%. They owe 20, we offer 2.
Makes sense.
They might say, well, can you do 5? And you're like, damn, they dropped 15 grand out of the air.
Let's do it.
Sign me up. So that's what we got. So, all right. Hopefully, y'all got some good sauce today, some good stuff, a good case study, learn some things. Because I know I'm going to have to ask Justin Holmes, even though he's in the middle of a conversation, his favorite question of the day. He said, I'm running out of here. I'm not going to ask him until he come back because I know he's talking to Whatchcall right now. I'm going to ask Corey, what have you learned today?
Man, I learned a lot. The most valuable thing today to me is this plastic deal. I can't wait to join that and see if I can use some of these credit cards to purchase some property.
I ain't using cash for nothing, man. My cash stay in my pocket. I'm using other people's money, other people's credit card, other people's stuff. We making it happen, man. That's why I say you really don't even need money for real estate. You just need skills. You need food. Plastique. Yeah, I thought, like I said, I'm gonna see if I can get that affiliate.
Don't worry, I already got it up. I'm locked and loaded.
But I think they give us some money for like you and me for me referring you.
I haven't did it yet, so I'll wait till you see my referral code.
Let me try this again. Other than that, what about you, Justin Holmes? What have you learned today?
I learned that you can go 8 months without making a payment on a property, and keep it pending and everything. That's a beautiful situation. I also learned that all you gotta do is get the notary thing on the back end for the modification, which is good information to know.
Yep, you get your own mobile notary because they definitely called the day that they sent the documents overnighted. They were calling. I'm like, who is this? They're like, yes, we're looking for the homeowner. I'm like, this is Chris. I'm handling the account. How can I help? They're like, no, we don't see you on here. I said, what do you mean? I'm on there. And no, we don't see you on here. We're notary. I said, oh, never mind. We don't need y'all no way. We got our own notary. I could have took him to the bank and did it for free. I didn't have to pay him mobile notary. I could have said, meet me at the bank or, but I wanted to make it easy for him. He already basically gave me a house, so, we take care of our people, man.
What's up?
All right. That's good there. Hopefully y'all got some good sauce out of all of this. Any other questions before we land?
I'm good, man. That's it.
All right, so go ahead and knock them dead this week. Keep marketing. Keep talking to sellers. Keep networking. Justin is the master of networking. He know everybody. If you don't know Justin, you don't know nobody. It's just that simple. So hopefully y'all go out here and knock some trees down, chop some trees down, all that good stuff. And don't be afraid to ask those questions that everybody else won't ask. That question is going to tell you where you go next. I don't have any preconceived notions. I go in every deal clear-minded. I know nothing, even though I can see all this stuff. I see they owe $99,000. I see they bought it 18 years ago. I see the house is 3 bedrooms. I'm asking anyway. Even if I see this stuff online, I'm going to ask anyway because I want to know if I'm dealing with a liar or a trier. I want to know, what are they doing? Are they serious? Do they really need to sell or they really need to get bonded out of jail? Who knows? I just want to know, can we do a deal? So hopefully y'all have a good rest of your week. If anything good come up cooking, let me know and we'll get to hooking. Do what you do. Be who you be. And I'll see you before you see me. So yes, I basically just wanted to remind everybody exactly how the Future Cash Flow Club works. Because I've been getting a lot of messages like, what is that about? How does it work? It's basically a group. So you see how I do these live seller calls, things like that. You get to get all the replays for all of those. You actually can get the paperwork, purchase agreements, assignment agreements, cancellation agreements, addendums, all of that stuff that you need if you sign up for the elite package at futurecashflowclub.com. Or if easier, it's probably, you can just go check it out for a free trial. Lots of goodies in there, behind the scenes stuff, actual help with your deals. If you want to communicate, say, hey, I'm stuck on a deal, I need some help, I'm looking for lenders, I'm looking for whatever, I'm a resource for you. So all you have to do is be part of the club. futurecashflowclub.com. Check it out.
I don't know what you been doing. You been sleep? Let me wake you up with something. Straight up. Yeah. Allow me to reintroduce myself. I'm Chris Monroe. R to the O-E. I flip houses, rent cars, and make money. I'm not no motherfucker dummy. This how we...